What's up, everybody? Bill Tendo here on this freezing cold morning. It's like 16 degrees. Got to work early, so I figured why not punch out a little listicle for you guys. I'm going to be talking about a couple garbage facts about EA. I know I did one about GameStop not too long ago. EA is really a trash bag company. But before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Nola Coast. Again, great clothing, great prices. Check them out on Instagram. Tell them I sent you. Also, Nola Coast has been working on my animated title screen for me, which is amazing. My logos were done by a friend, the Birdman, so shout out to him too. So let's just get at this. So the first thing I want to go over is loot boxes, and like I said, I'm just going to make all this really quick. I'm going to glaze over it. Loot boxes, gambling for kids, without a doubt. You don't know what you get until you pay for it and open it. EA spokesperson called them surprise mechanics. It's gambling. As a matter of fact, several European countries have already outlawed loot boxes as a form of children gambling, because yes, you can get something fantastic, but then you probably won't, not unless you buy many of them. And the reason they try to sell it and say it's not gambling is actually because you always do get something in your loot box, whether it's something good or something not. But it's still gambling. Kids are putting hundreds and in some cases thousands of dollars of their parents' money into trying to get these special items or characters, and it's, you know, you probably won't get them. You have to buy 100 boxes just to get the one you want. It also supports a play-to-win system. Not play to win, pay to win, I'm sorry. So what you do is, Battlefront, you have to buy the better characters. You can earn them by grinding now, but realistically, if you want the better characters, better armor, better guns, stuff like that, just buy them. And you'll be scores ahead of the people that are actually playing to earn these things, because the balance is so upset. You have to put 50 hours in just to earn this piece of armor, where someone else can just buy it for $20 in real world money. Moving on to item 2. Every sports game is the same pretty much for the last, I'd say, 7 years. If you're looking at Madden, you're looking at FIFA, you're looking at, some of their other sports series, NFL or NBA or whatever. It's all the same. As a matter of fact, FIFA 14, 15 were the same game. They didn't change anything about the game other than the roster. And that is a major complaint. And the way they have it set up, you have to get the new one every year. And really, you get a roster change and maybe updated uniforms, but that's about it. And yet they put out the same game over and over and over. You want to play FIFA? I'd say get FIFA 13 or something, you don't have to have FIFA 19. It's pretty much the same game. Very few minor changes there. As a matter of fact, they don't even bother to fix the glitches with the new version of it. There are entire websites and YouTube pages designated just to FIFA glitches that have been in there for 4 years now, that EA has not addressed at all. They just update the roster. And then they have a whole loot box system for players. So that goes back to the whole pay to win. You think you're getting messy? You're not getting messy unless you pay a lot of money. Item number 3. A couple years ago, there was a website that was around for quite a while. It was called the Consumerist. And in the Consumerist, basically, they review companies, how they treat their employees, how they're viewed by the public, and stuff like that. 2 years in a row, EA won America's Worst Company. Unfortunately, Consumerist isn't around anymore, but I kind of wish they were. But you can still look at their archived articles. I'm sure EA would have scored that little award a couple more times. Number 4 is Mass Effect, one of their larger game franchises. Came out, and what choices you make along the way are supposed to play an important part in which ending you get. Well, it didn't. It had absolutely the same ending. As a matter of fact, after you get the paid DLC and the patches and everything, by the time that was done, the only difference was a different color explosion. If you went the good path, you got a blue explosion at the end. It was red if you went the paid path or after the patches and stuff. It's ridiculous. Number 5 is they sold passes for used games. Now, I can pick up a used game and play it online with my friends who also play that game, and it's not going to cost me anything other than the purchase of the game. However, EA decided they were going to institute an online situation where if you bought a used copy from GameStop or from a friend or something, you had to pay $15 to play this game online with your friends, which is absolutely ridiculous. It made it quite difficult to play these games with friends, and eventually they dropped it, but they did try to institute it. EA will try to grab your money for anything they ever could. Every penny they can squeeze out of you, they're going to. They truly are the evil empire of gaming. Some people say Acclaim, or Activision. Acclaim's not around anymore. EA, to me, is the evil empire. Number 6 is they have a notoriously large habit of buying studios that compete with them, that create amazing games, and shutting them down. I actually had a list of all the studios. I don't have it in front of me, but it is excessive. Please look into it. If they have a successful game franchise that's pulling away from one of their game franchises, they will buy the studio. And they never say, oh, we're going to shut this down or whatever. What ends up happening is they will release 1, maybe 2 games under this banner, but then that's it. They're going to shut it down or restructure and move the employees elsewhere. It's just a terrible history of getting great studios that produce amazing games and just getting them out of the marketplace so there's no competition. Number 7, single player stories are almost not allowed. They think that there is only money in multiplayer online stuff, so what they unofficially did is if you are playing a single story game, they're not going to develop that. They've let franchises die because they don't think there's enough profitability in single player gaming. Let's think of a game like from Nintendo, like Zelda. It's a single player game. You go through it all by yourself. There's only so much profitability in that, and EA is all about profitability. So that a game like that, you buy once, you might be able to shoehorn in microtransactions to an extent, but it's not an ongoing forever thing because it's a linear thing. You have a story, you follow the story all the way to the end, and that's the end of that. They don't want that. They feel like they can squeeze more money out of people if it's multiplayer. You and I are playing against each other, like Call of Duty or something like that, and you got to keep buying better guns. You got to keep getting, better ammo. You got to get better armor. So they don't do the single player stories too much anymore. And number 8, which is my all-time favorite, is one of their executives. This encapsulates the whole EA problem right here. One of their executives has been on board for 25 years. Now, anything I'm saying here, you can definitely Google yourself and look it up. It's very easy information to find. I found it all with no problem. But they have an executive that's been up there in the top tier for 25 years, and he says straight up, I don't understand the bad perception of EA. Now, this is a company that, like I said, was awarded Consumerist Worst American Company of the Year multiple years in a row. There is fan backlash on everything. Look what they did with Battlefront. Man, they completely ruined the Star Wars franchise, if you ask me. They don't understand and get angry and upset because people look at them like the shitty company they are. You keep doing shitty stuff, people are going to see that you are shitty. So to not understand that is a willing ignorance. It is an arrogance that is above and beyond. And they're just out there like, hey, why do you think we're shitty? I mean, we're just trying to steal every penny you have. We want every penny you have. And that's it. We don't actually care about making good games. We just want profitable games. I think EA is a complete disservice to the whole gaming industry. They are actually one of the reasons I don't play a lot of current gen games, is because I don't want to deal with EA bullshit, and I also refuse to put money into EA's pocket. So if I play an EA game, it's generally an older game that they receive nothing for. All right, guys, that's about it. Y'all have a great day. Like and subscribe. Later.